Imagine you have a piggy bank, and your neighbor has a piggy bank, and everyone on your street has a piggy bank. Now imagine, one day, all those piggy banks break at the same time. All the money falls out, and nobody can pick it up. That is basically what happened in 2008, except it wasn't piggy banks, it was the entire world's money, and it almost disappeared. Let me tell you how that happened, using the simplest words possible. First, let's talk about houses. In America, in the early 2000s, banks started giving people money to buy houses. That money is called a loan. You borrow money from the bank, you buy the house, and then, slowly, over many years, you pay the bank back. So far, so good. But then, things got weird. Banks started giving loans to people who could not afford to pay them back. Imagine your friend asks to borrow your toys, but you know they always lose things and never return them. Would you give them your favorite toy? Of course not. But the banks did exactly that. They gave money to people with no job, no savings, and no way to pay it back. Why? Because banks thought, even if they don't pay us, the house will be worth more next year, so we'll just take the house and sell it. Easy money, right? Only one problem. Houses didn't keep getting more expensive. Between 2001 and 2006, banks gave out $600 billion in these bad loans. Most of those people never had a chance to pay them back. Now comes the sneaky part. The banks didn't want to keep those risky loans, so they took thousands of them, put them in a big box, and then they cut that box into slices, like a cake. They said the top slice is safe, the bottom slice is risky, and then they sold those slices to people all over the world. They even gave the top slice a gold star. They called it AAA. That means super safe. But here's the truth. The whole cake was made of bad loans. So it didn't matter which slice you bought. The whole thing was rotten. And then it got crazier. Some banks made fake boxes. No real loans inside, just bets, like betting $5 that it will rain tomorrow. These were called synthetic CDOs. Banks sold $73 billion of them. So now people weren't just losing money on bad loans, they were losing money on bets about bad loans. The losses multiplied. Now let me tell you about the biggest mistake. There was a company called AIG. AIG sold insurance to the banks. They said, "Don't worry, if anything goes wrong, we'll pay you." So banks felt safe. But AIG didn't save any money. They just kept promising. It's like promising candy to all your friends without buying any candy. And then, one day, everyone shows up and you have nothing. That's what happened to AIG. When people stopped paying their loans, banks went to AIG and said, "You promised." And AIG said, "Uh-oh." Now, the collapse. In 2007, people stopped paying their loans. They lost their houses. Banks tried to sell those houses, but the prices were falling fast. All those boxes of loans? Worthless. In March 2008, Bear Stearns collapsed, sold for $2 a share. Then came the worst day. September 15, 2008, Lehman Brothers collapsed. A 158-year-old bank, gone. $600 billion vanished. Everyone panicked. Banks stopped trusting each other. The system froze. The very next day, AIG collapsed too. The government had to give AIG $85 billion to keep it alive. Now, what about normal people? 9 million Americans lost their jobs. 10 million lost their homes. Families packed their bags and left. The crisis spread worldwide. Europe, Greece, Ireland, dominoes. So the government stepped in. They gave banks $700 billion. They printed trillions. They made new rules. But here's the hard truth. The people who caused it mostly walked away rich. The people who suffered were normal families. So why does this story matter? Because it wasn't ancient history. It was only 16 years ago, and the world we live in today was shaped by that moment. 2008 taught us something important. When people in power get greedy, everyone else pays the price. History doesn't just tell us what happened, it warns us what could happen again.
If this story made you think and you believe more people should hear it, then hit like, subscribe to this channel, because here we break the world down in simple words. And in the comments, tell me this: what part of this story shocked you the most? See you in the next video. Until then, stay curious, stay